Hello, welcome to Movie Musters. The truly exceptional Unique has returned in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 4 Episode 6, and he's aiming for everything. He's back, although we learned of Unique's return in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 10, Rack was unaware. She, along with everyone else except Early and a veterinarian, believed Unique was long gone, no longer a danger in the South Side. They were mistaken that I was beginning to fret about how long they would keep Unique concealed because there's a limit to how long one can remain hidden in plain sight. With every action Unique took, he was increasingly exposing himself, and sooner or later, someone was bound to recognize him and think, "Wow, you resemble Unique a lot." Unique would then crack a joke about coming back from the dead, and the secret would be out. Since Unique was fit enough to fend for himself again, his plan remained to dismantle Rack's operations and reclaim what he believed was taken from him, but being thought dead for a long period means returning to a state of nothingness. Not only did Unique lack product, but he also had no allies. He's back. While we've known Unique returned since the finale of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3, Rack was still in the dark. She, along with everyone except Early and a veterinarian, believed Unique was gone for good, no longer a danger on the South Side. They were mistaken. I was beginning to get concerned about how long they would keep Unique hidden because it's only a matter of time before someone notices him. With each action Unique took, he was exposing himself more, and eventually, someone would recognize him and think, "Wow, you really resemble Unique." Once Unique spoke, making a comment about rising from the dead, the secret would be out. As soon as Unique was well enough to fend for himself, the goal has always been to take down Rack and reclaim what he believed was rightfully his, but coming back from a presumed death means starting from zero. Not only did Unique lack any product, but he also had no allies. One key lesson from all the Power series is the necessity of having a plan and a team. Without those, you're basically finished. Unique wisely recognized that his only option was to enlist others who despised Rack or, at the very least, were on board with bringing her down. That's why he initially approached Teresa Bocelli. He played on her sorrow and then met with Russo to try and manipulate multiple situations. Russo sought revenge for Sal, but perhaps more importantly, he admired Stefano's leadership style. Unique's first attempt to pitch his ideas to Russo left him with nothing but a headache, but when he returned during Season 4 Episode 6 of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, he had more to bring to the table. Unique has always been ambitious and clever. You can't reach the heights he has without those qualities, but since his comeback, he's been consumed by his desire for revenge, losing sight of the broader picture. Indeed, he has disrupted Rack's operations, but he remains clueless about her maneuvers behind the scenes. He has OC deep in his snitching schemes, which has provided him with some information, such as utilizing Quan, but he doesn't truly know what Rack is currently orchestrating. His entire strategy relies on undermining her business before swooping in to reclaim what he believes is his, but he's underestimating Rack and failing to grasp the whole situation due to his intense loathing for her. Rack didn't attempt to eliminate him. Sure, she mourned him only briefly and took advantage of the opportunities his death created, but she was not the adversary back then. Did you notice how fiercely he reacted to Russo referring to Rack as his girlfriend? His hatred for her has escalated significantly, and it was already troublingly intense, suggesting it will only deepen now that he has made his comeback. Rack is trying to uncover who has been undermining her, but more importantly, she is eager to move her product and is planning her next business venture. The return of Unique, someone with a grudge looking to invade her territory, complicates everything. Stefano has supported her from the beginning because she delivers results, but until now, she hasn't faced any competition. That situation has drastically changed. And what's the deal with Hafiz? Yes, he just finalized a deal, but how will he react when he discovers a potential conflict is emerging on the streets? And Rack isn't the sole contender. The situation just became incredibly intense. Overnight, as we anticipated, because both Rack and Unique are currently out of sync, which wasn't the case when they previously clashed. On one side, the show needs to move past the Rack and Unique rivalry since we've already explored that, but the dynamics now are profoundly different from when we first saw them in opposition. Rack is currently the dominant force, while Unique stands as the consistent underdog. Yet neither truly knows the challenges they are about to face. Rack is unaware of what Unique may have planned, and Unique is clueless about all the strategies Rack has in place. Unique is furious, and I don't foresee that changing regardless of what Rack says, but there will always be an underlying tension between them due to their complex past feelings. Those feelings may have transformed over time, but they could still be lurking just beneath the surface. That we have 4 more hours to witness this conflict unfold. And I am incredibly thrilled. Another thrilling aspect of this episode? It's odd to say, but following Jukebox's evolution this season has been captivating because we're seeing her transformation unfold right before our eyes. It's happening so quickly that it nearly feels jarring, yet we've observed Jukebox suffering through every season. From Nicole's death in Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 1 to all her struggles with Marvin and her mother, she has endured immense pain. When she told Marvin that it was everything weighing on her presently, I resonated with that, considering all that Jukebox has faced in her brief life. She has been pushed to her limits repeatedly, and it's astonishing that she hasn't broken sooner. Her brief stint in the army left her with 2 noteworthy outcomes: the urge to stop concealing her identity and a talent for shooting. Seeing her eyes light up during target practice was somewhat unsettling, yet it was clear she found something she excelled at. And that experience from the army appeared to have given her stability. Famous's death was profoundly sad, especially for Kanan, as he was his closest friend and brother. Even though we witnessed their bond deteriorate in real time during Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 3. Still, Kanan grew up alongside Famous and cared for him deeply, just like the entire Thomas family, so his death hit hard. These days, Kanan primarily channels his rage toward Rack. However, the emotions he expressed regarding Famous's death were intertwined with pain, and if given the chance, he was likely to react in a reckless manner. That intensity was a source of fear for both Rack and Krystal. Revenge is rampant in the South Side, and with just a hint of information regarding Famous's killer, Kanan and Jukebox were quick to spring into action. Seeing Kanan and Jukebox ambush those guys was the closest we've come to their true selves in this prequel. Jukebox pointing her gun at that kid's face gave me chills because that was the Jukebox we recognized. That was the Jukebox who was indifferent to anything or anyone, and you could see that in her eyes as she confronted those boys, ready to eliminate them all if necessary. I've mentioned waiting to witness Kanan's transformation, but we just observed a significant shift in Jukebox. I felt sympathy for Marvin as he attempted to connect with Jukebox, clearly out of his element. He never wanted her involved in that life and encouraged her to chase her passion for singing or anything else that didn't mirror his path. And no matter what you think of Marvin, he's aware of himself. He knows he isn't perfect or even a decent person, and he's never been happy about the idea of his daughter becoming like him. However, similar to Rack and Kanan, as Jukebox evolves into her own person, it's increasingly beyond his control. In the end, Kanan and Jukebox don't make any progress in discovering Famous's killer since those boys were undoubtedly too frightened to have done it. But what about the cops? Why would the cops want to kill Famous? It doesn't add up for me, but sometimes trying to understand things in a power show can be a pointless quest that leaves you feeling wild and frustrated. Everything else you need to know. I love that Unique's first move after a small triumph was to get a fresh haircut and some new clothes. Unique is at his most dangerous when he looks like he's aiming for the cover of Jet magazine. Lulu and Jessica's brief reunion was arranged to give them a break from their sorrow, and it also made sure Imani would find out, leading to workplace tension. I know many adore Lulu, but this plotline is pretty dull. Birilla is pretty awful. We've always been aware of that, but he was rude to Lulu for speaking like a self-help guru, which is his style with everyone. Now, he's planning to rob Lowell. What's happening with this music storyline? Snitches are the worst. What is OC even getting from Unique to do all this snitching and undercover work? Kanan treats him poorly, but is Unique any better? David shouldn't be as amusing as he is. Why was he so focused on organizing a mixer while in a room with two people who could kill him at any moment? We're heading towards the finale of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan Season 4, and things are getting exciting. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.